So we're going back to the roots of Acroyoga on this video. Make sure you've watched video 1 in this series on bird. That'll give you the prerequisites you need. And we're going to start by setting up bird here. I have the base and placing my feet parallel on my Fliers hip bones. Then we're going to join hands with the Fliers fingers forward and the base's fingers out. The Flyer is going to stay engaged. Her shoulders are back and down. Her core is engaged as she leans forward into me. I'm going to bend my knees to accept her weight till we hit the tipping point, and I press her up into bird. Now, I'm maintaining my bone stacking here. I can feel my sacrum grounding into my mat because her weight is going straight through my heels, through my vertical shins, through my vertical femurs, through my sacrum, and I'm carrying her on bone, not using much muscle. She's staying engaged for the moment. Now I'm going to turn my toes out. That's going to give her room to fold forward, hinging at the hips, and as she folds forward, she opens her legs into a straddle position. She's now in a straddle pike position, legs wide and roughly 90 degrees between her legs and her body. And in this direction, we call this a folded leaf position. She's just going to hang out here for a minute in folded leaf, and already we're doing good therapeutic work here. You can see her correcting a little bit, improving her pike. It's easy to let those legs drift up for a flyer, and if the legs drift up, she loses traction and falls down. Now I'm going to take my hands and insert them fingers first in between her neck and her arms, and then I'm going to wrap my wrists around her armpits so I can place my palms on her sacrum. Now that gives me the ability to put some traction into her spine by gently tugging her shoulder blades towards me while remaining firm in my feet, and that feels really good for the flyer. There's nothing else that quite does this. Drawing out the spine, they say, drawing fresh blood into the intervertebral discs. I don't know about that, but they tell me it feels good, and you sure can tell that it's having an effect on your flyer's spine because you'll see her back getting longer as you gently tug, letting go, tugging again, letting go again, tugging again, working gently and patiently to draw out your flyer's spine. Then you can give her a little massage here, working into the upper fibers of the traps and the neck. You can even work down the erector spinae muscles down her back. Take your time and get your flyer nice and loosened up. Wrap your thumbs around and work into the front delts a little. You'll often find action in the front delts, especially with active people, especially with vinyasa yoga active people. And I always like to give another little tug after I've loosened up those upper back muscles. You can get another few centimeters often after the massage with some spinal traction. And then we're going to go to a twist. I'm going to take my flyer's left arm, I'm going to feed it between my legs, And then I can place my right hand on her left scapula. Then I can take my left hand and take her upper arm, not the lower arm. That's no good for her elbow. You want the upper arm, and gently twist her. And Fliers, it's for you to give feedback. That's good. That's too much. That's not quite enough. Here you can see I'm bending my left knee a little bit to keep her hips level. That seems to help deepen the twist a little bit. You may get some clunks along the spine as intervertebral subluxations correct here. And then slowly back to center. Feed her right arm between my legs. My left hand goes on her right scapula. My right hand takes her upper left arm and back into the twist. You can work this for however long seems to work for your flyer. 5 slow breaths is a typical pacing, and it's nice if you can take those breaths in synchronicity with each other. Hey, Chubs. And then slowly back to center. And we're going to move to a side stretch. I'm going to bring my Flyers hands together over her head. I'm going to take both the wrists in my right hand, and I'm going to side stretch her to her left. I'm placing my left hand on her right lat muscle here, and I'm bending my right knee a little bit while keeping my left leg straight and bone stacked. That helps deepen the twist. You might not need to do that for your flyer. I'm working with a super flexible flyer here, so I got to find ways to deepen the stretch. Few breaths there, change direction, move her wrist to my left hand and twist the other way. You'll note that she's in Baddha Konasana here, butterfly stretch. It's often said that in a Therafly, when the Flyers' hands are together, their feet should be together in that Baddha Konasana. But that, of course, is optional. All of Acroyoga is what you make it. And maybe your flyer will prefer to stay in a straddle. Now we're going to move to a shoulder stretch. I'm bringing her arms together behind her back so she can interlace her fingers. My hands go on her upper arms, and this has to be super gentle. It just gets intense really fast. So bases, check in with your flyer. Hey, is that too much? Is that enough? Is that just right? And go super gentle. I'm not even pulling. I'm basically just using the weight of my arms here. And please note again that I'm working with a very flexible flyer. Most flyers probably wouldn't be able to attain the range of motion that mine has got here. Few breaths there. Then I'm going to help her take opposite elbows behind her back. My palms go on her shoulders to push her up. Keep that head down for a little neck massage. This is called the hippie twist. My right arm is straight and my left knee is bent. There's a little twist for her spine here while I give her another little neck massage. And then change directions. Right leg goes straight, left knee bends, my left arm is straight, and I can massage her neck a little with my right hand. And you can do a little bit of bicycle pedaling your feet, moving your shoulders around, wobbling. This usually nets you a giggle at least. And then I'm going to help her arms back. She's going to take prayer hands behind her head. I'm going to cup her elbows in my hands, push her elbows up. My arms are straight, my legs are straight, and she's getting a nice gentle back bend here. She's still in Baddha Konasana. She doesn't have the best pike going right here, but she's got enough pike that her thighs are resting on the shelves of my feet. Okay, we've got enough traction. If her thighs were much higher, she'd start sliding down. Few breaths there, and slowly let her back down. She's going to retake that straddle pike position. I'm going to feed my hands between her neck and arms and wrap them around for another little bit of spinal traction. I'm going to push her hips away from me a little and rock them back and forth a little bit as I'm gently tugging down on her scapulas. And then we're going to rejoin hands and slowly push her back to bird. My feet come back parallel. She's decided she's going to take the full bird for a moment here. And then we're going to rejoin hands. I bend my knees, more toe, and bring her back to earth for my high 10. And that's a quick little Therafly.